You are listening to Eritrean Society podcast, Inspire and Motivate. In this episode, we have award-winning Eritrean singer-songwriter and producer. Her work can be found on iTunes ranging from singles, LPs and an album. She has curated her own dance form called Shikitu, which is an essential dance form to help women embrace their femininity. If you are a woman, go over to shikitudance.com. She runs her own charity that supports deprived children in Eritrea. So if you buy her book, 5 Steps to Becoming a More Confident You, the proceeds will go to her charity, and it's a good read. We have the confidence coach, the happy Monday girl. You may have seen her on adverts such as Skyscanner or Moonpig. She has had her own show called Love and Music on one of the largest Eritrean production company, LYE. She tells us her story, how she built her empire. And if you are listening on a Monday, then have a happy Monday. This is Eritrean Society podcast, Inspire and Motivate. And our guest is none other than LIDIAANA.
What you're actually projecting out. So what are affirmations to you?
Great question. Affirmations. I think that's your inner voice and your inner hype woman or hype man. And I think we all have that. We all have that negative voice. And I think it's the opposite of that one, the one that says you can't. And then you have your affirmations that say you can, or you will never, ever, look like this. And then you have that other voice that says, no, you can, girl. You're a queen. You're beautiful. So I think affirmations are very, very important. It's basically you and your own thoughts, and preferably these should be positive thoughts. But I started doing affirmations before I even knew what affirmations were. And then when I started, becoming more spiritual and learning more about positivity, I was like, okay, so this has a name, okay, that inner voice. So I'm not crazy. So this is a thing. So yeah, affirmations are very, very important.
What are your affirmations today? What type of affirmations do you say now?
I think I always say the ones that I need to hear. I think back in the day would be like, oh, I'm a queen, I'm beautiful, I am enough, and all of that. And thankfully, I don't have to say them as often anymore, because I feel like that's who I am. So I've become that person now. But I don't have any particular affirmations for today on this beautiful Sunday. But it's sometimes even, like just wanting to get up and finish cooking, and then you can say, girl, you got this. Those little things. So it's nothing major at the moment. But I think it also depends on the situation, because if you go into a big event and you feel a bit of anxiety and you really don't want to be there, then you gotta say those right things to yourself in that moment. But in this moment right now, I'm just grateful to be here with you and being interviewed. So so I can't think of anything big right now that I had to tell myself this morning.
Fair enough. You on your Instagram, on social media, you really build up this well-being, happiness, and positivity. What is happiness to you?
Ooh, happiness is a state. Like it's what keeps me alive, and it's my foundation. I think when we're not happy about things, it just means that we have to change certain things, either in our surroundings or in our, the inner self. And happiness is everything. Like without that, you have a bit of work to do.
Happy Mondays, right? It was the Instagram kind of every Monday you'd post. Where did the idea come from, and how did that start?
I love that question. It started, I think now almost 8 years ago. Oh God. And I basically went on this holiday, and I was supposed to go with a friend, but that friend literally, I don't know, now many years later, I can be a bit more compassionate and try and understand her in her own ways. But at that time, I felt really, really let down. I felt like, You're my best friend. We're supposed to go on holiday. And now you're letting me down. Now I had to pay for your ticket. You didn't give me my money back. And it was a lot of drama. And I think she was going through something, but she could not express herself the right way. So I ended up going on my own to Turkey. And I remember my mom, my sister, everybody, Turkey, Beni, Ati, and I was like, oh God, leave me alone. I can do this. And they're like, no, and I was like, oh my God. So they actually did that. They didn't only call my phone, they also called the hotel. At that point, they were like, yes, Abrahet, one moment. And then they would transfer her to my room. They were so worried.
Actually transfer. Okay.
Listen, my family just goes over and beyond, everybody's got to know. And I had the bestest time. Like, it was the first time, like, when you grow up in a certain, in a certain country, in a certain city, with certain people already, know who you are, your limitations, your strengths, your this, your that. They already put you in I won't say a box, but they have a picture of you. But when you go somewhere else where no one knows who you are, what you do, and they just see you for who you are in that moment and how you make them feel, and they tell you things like, oh my God, you're amazing, you speak so many languages, when you come to this country you have to visit us, and they just love you for who you are, you feel like so filled up by this genuine energy. And that was my whole holiday. Like, even the people at the hotel, the way they praised me, the way they filled me up, I was like, this holiday was meant to be. Because if it wasn't for that friend, now ex-friend, for her to let me down, sorry, I had to put a bit of shade into this notion. And if it wasn't for her, how she treated me, I would have never gone to a solo holiday, my first solo holiday at that time. And then met all these incredible people that have really seen something in me that I had not seen in myself, that friends had not seen in myself, that family has not seen in myself. And when I came back, I was like, Liddy, you are, I don't know if I can swear, but I said, Liddy, you are the shit. I already started with swearing. I was like, you are the shit. And I had to really, really tell myself, like, you are amazing. You went there on your own. You came back alive. You met so many people. Just everything. It was amazing. And I sat there and I just wanted to share my happiness. So my phone was there, and I started singing that song. Is it? I forgot. Mace, I think. Bad Mace, boy. Yeah, you make me feel so good. And then I went like, Happy Monday. and that was it. And then once I posted it, everybody was like, oh, we can't wait for next Monday. And I thought, you want me to work? I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay. And then I was so nervous. I was like, what am I going to do next Monday? And then I think it was, I feel good. Da, 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 da. I knew that I wouldn't. And then after that, it became a habit. And I've taken little mini breaks just to, rejuvenate sometimes. But all in all, it's almost 8 years now. It's probably the most consistent thing that I've ever done in my life.
I didn't know it was 8 years. I didn't know it was,
almost.
How do you keep up the energy? How do you where do you get energy from to actually, press record and actually just be so bubbly? Because I think I'm not sure how I saw it, but I think it was being shared out. So I think it's important for people to share content. So I think that's how we saw your content.
Oh, thank you.
So how do you do it?
So if I just look beyond just Happy Mondays, because Happy Mondays also, of course, a performance. Nobody's like, even if there was some Mondays where I felt like, God, you don't want to do this, and then I'm like, okay, put the smile on, and then once you do it, you feel it, which is a good thing. But I mean, in general, where I find the energy, I think now it's because I take a lot of me time. I've figured out that I'm a extroverted introvert. Okay, meaning you're good when you're out there, you're entertaining, but you also appreciate your own time. And I really love my own company. I really love myself. Humble. No, yeah. So I think it's not just it's genuine energy that I feel in that moment. So I love dancing. So when I dance, I don't think too much about, oh, what are other people going to think? I think more about, how do I want to feel in this moment? And if somebody else watches this and says, this is amazing, then woo, that's a bonus. Same thing when I go to an event. I'm not thinking, okay, I'm going into this room and I'm going to motivate everybody and I'm going to make sure everybody is feeling great and safe and positive and blah, blah, blah. I'm going there and I'll spread my light. And if people feel like, wow, this is amazing, who are you and whatever, then I've done something to just, change the world just a little bit, or to change someone's mood for that day, that moment and stuff like that. So where do I get the energy from? I don't know. I think ultimately it's perception. I was talking to my friend Winter about that earlier, actually, who was here on this podcast as well, my bestie. And I absolutely loved it, loved that podcast, that interview. And yeah, so I think ultimately it's all perception. Like, I know people that when they go out and somebody looks at them or smiles at them, they will turn around and be like, ooh, weird. And I'm that kind of person. When somebody smiles, I'm going to smile back and I'm like, hey, why are you so happy? And then they tell me why they're happy. And I'm like, okay, who are you? What's your name? And it's the perception. Like, I like to, well, I don't like the word network, because it sounds like I would be at a million events and network with everybody. Not like that. Hey, this is my business card, call me, not the fake stuff. But I mean, I like it when people spread their light, and I like to spread my light. And I think I get the energy from life, from experiences, from good people, positive experiences, and yeah, and then when I actually leave the house, I like to spread it, and that's what you guys get to see. There are obviously as well bad moments, but nobody gets to see that.
I think even using the word network sometimes could be not misused, but it more, like you said, it could be business, like, rather than like informal. So it's very difficult trying to kind of translate what when we talk about networking, like, it's actually like socializing and actually, trying to achieve certain, like, just learning from others, mentorship. So there's so in that sense, how has social media impacted your career, and what would be your advice to somebody like starting up? Because I think it's very difficult for someone to actually start something up, but you've managed to do so many different things: music, dancing, even social media, like some of the skits that you had with the what's his name, with the
What do you want?
Like, so you've got so many different things that you've done, and you've done successfully. So I mean, what would be your advice to someone?
So first to the first question, how it impacted my career. I mean, before social media was what it is today, and before I had a bigger platform, I was already doing all these things. So social media has helped me to share my talent, with the world. So obviously sometimes when you I don't know, when you have a theater show or whatever, you have 20 people or 50 people coming, or you have a concert and you have 200 people. But with social media, all of a sudden 50,000 people can see it, 100,000 of people can see it. With YouTube, you have all of a sudden, I don't know, millions of people seeing it. So it made everything bigger, and for me, thankfully as well, better. And people from all over the world get to see you, not just, like, very often my mom would be on the phone and be like, oh, where's Aguale? And nobody would know what it is because nobody has seen it. Now it's like, hands up, I sent you YouTube said that here, what's up? I said, what's up, so it's so easy now. Like, people can share it, or they'll be like, I think the Guakiri on Facebook and tag it out. So it gives aunties an opportunity now to, not only aunties, but everybody, an opportunity as well to see it, to build an opinion, and not just by one thing, but they can actually go to all your social media and understand who you are. And, their life can be impacted or, in whatever way. And I think for anybody that wants to start up something that involves social media, just do it. Like there is, I would never say to somebody, don't do it, because social media is another way to kind of, get more followers, more clients, more viewers, whatever it is that you're looking for. So for everybody that wants to do it and stay authentic to yourself.
Brilliant. So let's start with your humble beginnings in a sense. The New York City dance school in Stuttgart. Is that, would we say that's what started everything up? What I think got you, I wouldn't say confident, but started your pathway basically.
My pathway. So the confidence, to go back to that part, it's like so many people always ask me that. I just think, like if this is the average, this is what I always say. I go back to, explaining things. So if this is the average of happiness and excitement, and this is like somewhere around 50, then my excitement and happiness for life has always been somewhere around 95%, but just on a normal day, like I wake up in the morning and be like, whoa, what a nice day, and I don't know why I'm like that, because I only realized that I'm different when I realized how other people are. And I thought, damn, they're negative, but maybe they're not negative. Maybe just the average of happiness and excitement and confidence just is somewhere else. So my confidence, if I had to think back, I think a lot of it was as well, growing up in Germany and not feeling alienated. Because when I speak to a lot of different people, there's always this sad racism story, or people were like, because of our financial brackets, we had to, grow up here, and we were in the ghetto, and we were this and we were this. And I often tell people, it's like, I understand, but I cannot say that I had the same thing, because being in Germany and being, one of the few, well, there were a lot of Habeshas, but obviously sometimes you're in school and then there's only another Habesha or maybe 2-3 black kids in total and stuff like that. But for me, what I loved is I was always part of everything. When everybody was dancing, my parents never said, do you really need to dance? We're Eritreans. Do we really need to dance? It wasn't the question. It was like, they're dancing, you go in there dancing as well. Like they're doing ballet, you do ballet. Oh, they're doing a choir. I was like, it's like, you will be doing the choir. But actually, if I had to think back, the choir was different. I remember it was my first week in school. This is like elementary school. So Form 1. And all the kids were singing, and they were like in the second grade. And I was already in love with, the Mariah Careys and Whitney Houston's and whatsoever. So as I hear them singing, I'm thinking, kids, I was 6 years old. I was like, kids, you need some flavor. So they said, is there anyone from the newbies that would like to sing or that can sing? And I literally put my arm up and I said, yes, I'm a professional. And I've never performed at that point, but I literally went there and I started singing, and I just thought, whatever happens, happens. If you go that way, you could, ad-lib it into another way. And I just did it. And since then, I was in that choir. Then I became a gospel singer in a different choir, then the solo singer, and da-di-da-di-da. I think my confidence sometimes speaks way before me, like before my thoughts come in. Either my affirmations, my negative thoughts, my positive thoughts, whatever it is, before any type of thinking hits the brain, my mouth starts, can you do it? Well, have you ever? Like even now, sometimes when I get offered and I think all the casting directors should at this point stop listening to this podcast, because sometimes they ask me the most ridiculous questions, and they're like, do you know how to do this? And then I'm literally just rolling my eyes and I'm thinking, Lydia, can you train yourself to be I don't know, some type of thing in 2 days in order to get the job? And I would still say yes, and then literally train for 2 days to do it. because I like challenges, like
Yeah.
those kind of challenges, not life challenges. but I like it's like I don't want those problems to come into my life.
I mean,
So
what example would be good? Like a good example of that? Like someone, a producer or director asking you to do something, and then you've got 2 days. What would be a good example of that?
actually one was like, I mean, the budget looked very good for one,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
that really motivated me, and it said, are you a professional yoga instructor?
Yeah.
So then I thought to myself, Shigitu is dance. Dance is like, it's like yoga, isn't it? I was like, okay. And then they say EG, and then they say, can you do the position
Yeah.
and this position? So I'm Googling it, and I see like somebody putting the leg like up like that. And I was like, wait, how long do you need? Google, yeah, to train yourself to do tuk tuk tuk. And I'm typing it in, and it says about 2 days, and I'm like, let me say yes to this job right now. and then when you get to the job, you'll see, because sometimes it's actually as hard as they display it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not. Sometimes they just want to make sure that someone is that somebody could do it,
Yeah.
and not necessarily has to do it. So I thought, try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the confidence just came through really as well through my mom. Like she never put, like, some people look at you and they're like, are you sure you want to do it? My mom would be like, yeah, go do it. Like, or any rehearsal, she's like, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, we'll go there. Let's do it. Theater, this, that. I think it was because my mom was a yay sayer. She was like, I can see potential. I can see that she wants to do things, and I'm just going to nurture that. And that really helped me to say pretty much yes to all the things that I feel that are aligned to me and my career and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's how I got to singing and dancing and acting and all of that. And New York City Dance School and TBS Dance School and everything, they were all part of my journey to now become the creator of Shigitu Dance. All the choirs were part of my journey to now become a singer, and all the acting and modeling is as well part of the journey on the person that I am today right now.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. I was going to ask you about questions about the push that your mom gave you, but you've answered that. But Shigitu dance. Could you tell us where the name came from, what it means to you? So, I mean, what is Shigitu dance?
So Shigitu Dance is my company. It's my baby. And it's basically called Shigitu Sensual Dance for Ladies. It's a dance form to help women to connect with their bodies and with their divine femininity. I mean, there are a variety of dance classes, but with me, it's really like your mind, your soul, your body, and your sensuality, to really awaken that and to carry that through life. Because personally, like how it got inspired, there were two ways. One was the physical, and the other one was more the subconscious, spiritual kind of type of reason why I'm doing this. So for one, I was in a day job for 2 days, literally 2 days a week. But I was never made for 9 to 5. I have no problem with those that are. Yeah, do it. It's wonderful. Keep doing it. But for me, having to wake up at a time when they want me to wake up and being there on time, and then having to always pretend that I'm working, it just didn't work for me. Because my personality, my character is like, it just didn't fit into this gray type of lifestyle. Anyway, those 2 days were like, ugh. And then eventually they were like, oh, we gotta, make some people redundant. We're going to start off with the part-timers. And I wasn't sure if I'm happy or if I'm sad, because I was like, oh, that means I have to find another job. You know, I was like, that's work, having to find something new.
Yeah.
And I was comfortable with, those 2 days, paid my bills and stuff like that. And then as well, meeting new people, then, showcasing your fake personality, like, oh, I love this job. It's amazing. Oh my God. Never wanted anything else in my life. I was like, am I really ready to do this? And I sound so terrible. Oh my God. But it was my reality at that time.
There's truth in it. Yeah. Yeah, that's good
and
feeling. A lot of
and then
people, that's how they do things. Yeah.
exactly. And then other people were telling me, oh, you will get paid for the last 2 months. And then on top of that, for the past 3 years that you worked here. So I was like changing my mindset. I was like, let me go right now then.
Yeah.
and go on a holiday or something whilst they're paying me. And I realized I didn't like the feeling of feeling rejected. I mean, it wasn't that I wanted the job, but the fact that I sat there still working and feeling rejected just didn't sit right with me. So whilst I was there, I started, brainstorming on what I could do. And then I was like, okay, if I want to start a business, I know I'm already doing music, but music is not something that I can do full time right now. So what else can I do? And I thought, oh, my God, you always love dancing, so you should teach dance. And then I did. And whilst I was still working there, this is my true hustler self, I went to all my female colleagues and I was like, hey, Anita, they were like, give me £5. They're like, why? I was like, you coming to my dance class? She's like, dance class? I said, yeah. I'm sending you the details. Give me £5. So I literally went through the whole office, collected my £5 from everybody. This is not the price now. It has increased.
I was going to ask you that as well. How did you
that's £20 now.
I mean, not the price. I mean, how did you...
Ladies, come and join. www.
Go for it.
Shigito-dance.com. I'm joking.
No, of course. But how you did it? Like, how did you get everyone? How did you get everyone together? Like, it's not easy thing to do. Just to start something up and then like just have 100 people or 1,000 people join in.
I'm gonna be honest. I forced them. I didn't give anybody an option to say no. And that's because I really believed that, like, I didn't think that people would do me a favor. I was really thinking, and I still do think, you're going to do yourself a favor, and you'll be thanking me. So with that confidence, I literally went through the whole office, make sure that my 40, 50 colleagues came. Some of them are still coming to Shigito 6 years later, and still supportive. And I must say, most of them, well, not most of them, all of them. Well, anyway, the ones that I can remember anyway, they were all very happy. They actually did thank me. They're like, thank you, girl. This is amazing. And I was like, yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So because it's something where you connect with yourself. So I'm just giving the room, the hour, the time to help them do it. But the gift is coming from yourself to yourself. So yeah, at the beginning, I got just literally invited everybody, all my Facebook friends. I even called people from college. I was like, hey, do you remember me from 5 years ago, college? They're like, no, I don't. I was like, that's okay, honey. I started this dance class and I think it would be great for you. And they were like, okay. And they're still there. It was more the belief in myself. And now, years later, well, not right now, but years later after I started it, I really realized that in my career as everything, singer, dancer, actor, this, that, model, extraordinaire, very talented. Now, I see, I'm my own motivator.
No,
because you're not saying it to me, so I have to say it to myself. Yeah,
it'll be on the intro anyway. I usually let people like get on with it, and you're doing great. So. You are. We haven't mentioned like most of the we haven't mentioned everything else that you do, but I mean, you've got an ebook, you've won awards,
Damn right.
So it's like there's a lot, and in the space of 2 hours, it's not easy to get through.
That is true.
Even if we get to like that kind of questions that
maybe I should have shorter answers than.
No way. Because I actually prefer the just conversation style.
Conversation.
But, yeah, but it's not it's new to me, so I'm getting used to it. So that's
you're great. I was actually just joking. Noah, you're doing fantastic. Let me say it to the audience before they kill me in the comments. Noah is amazing, and I'm so appreciative and grateful to be here. Thank you.
No, I had the last question I had for you was is what you wrote on your book. The last bit that you said in your book.
Yes, yes, yes. Tell me, and then I'll go back to the other question because I didn't even finish that one. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, it's my
If
fault.
no one's told you, if no one's told you, you're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you wrote at the end of your book. Am I correct to say that? So that's.
Can you say the whole sentence again? If no one.
I don't have the
Because
whole
it's not
sentence. I
finished.
didn't write the whole sentence. It's up there.
Oh, well, shall I quickly,
Go for it.
so that if I have the full quote, then I will then I will be able to say the right thing, because it would be funny if I give you a whole different answer just because I don't remember. So it says, and just in case no one told you today, you are beautiful.
Yeah, that's the last quote.
Wait.
So I got it right. I got it right.
Okay, now I got it. And just in case no one told you today, you are beautiful.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's my English accent.
It was the tone. Yeah. It's that, and just in case no one told you, you are beautiful. Yeah.
I don't. You know. Yeah. Go on.
Because the thing is, we can say pretty much everything to ourselves every single day, but there's no point if we don't believe it. But I feel like, like I sometimes do these tests whenever, we change every single day, as humans, one day we like this, next day we like that, we change. So what I like to do is like those personality tests sometimes and be like, oh, what is my love language? How do I like to receive love? How do I like to give love? And I did a test like last week, and it says words of affirmation, and it's so true. It's like, if there is somebody that I don't know, that I'm dating or whatever, and that person says things like I don't know, something really, like, I don't know, something that I don't hear very often. I mean, you are beautiful is something that I hear on a daily. No, I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. It's the confidence speaking. That something like, oh, I really appreciate what you said, or I'm really inspired, or something. It really touches your soul. And sometimes we hear everything, but the thing that we need to hear, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought I finished the book on the note of like, just in case no one has told you, because I don't know if they're reading it at 8 a.m. in the morning. So I'm pretty sure no one has told them at that point. Let me be the first one to tell you you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think when you read that, it's like, you smile, right? so that's what I want. I just want to inspire people, make them happy, and make them smile. So
yeah. I think, I wouldn't say, I don't know. It's just, it depends on the person's upbringing, and I can't say for every parent, but usually you don't usually get told, I love you, you're beautiful, all these different kind of where you feel, some sort of love, and you kind of experience as with Eritrean parents. I don't know, I don't want to class every single person as the same, but it just depends on how you was brought up. But you moved when we talk about love and beauty and things like this, you moved from Germany to London. And is that listening over to, or like reading certain things about you, that was for the love of music? Is that,
absolutely,
would I say correct?
Yes.
So I mean, what made you move? Like, what made you say, I need to leave Germany to go to London?
I felt I've done all the things that you could do in a small city like Stuttgart. Like, obviously not everything, but everything that I wanted to do. I went on a little tour with a band. I was on a tour with a gospel group. I produced and created songs, and I've been on TV and I've done it, but as much as I'm very grateful that I grew up in Germany and stuff, but there is just something cool about the English language, and I feel like with R&B music and hip hop music, there's just a limitation that you can really achieve and reach in Stuttgart. Like, I mean, most of the songs that I sang were not English; they were gibberish. They were like, "What a little love, what a terrible love," and nobody stopped me. None of them stopped me. They came up to me and they said, "Oh, what a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
But none of them said to me, well, that wasn't English. And
Yeah.
I wanted to sing in English. I wanted to actually, be around people that know the industry, that don't tell me, oh, I've worked with this German artist and this indie artist. I wanted people that say to me, I've worked with Beyonce, I've worked with Stevie Wonder, I've worked with like people that I look up to. And I wanted to be around, surrounded by more Black people as well. I love my Black people. So I came to London and I was like, I can learn English, I can get to know myself, I can be more independent. And I initially wanted to come for a year. That was the deal that I had with my mom. She was like, but at that time we had like these cars. We had to, take the number off and be like, dring, dring, dring. Mama, Mama, London's about you.
Calling cards, yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Calling cards. Yeah. I don't even know what it's called anymore. And then after that 1 year, I was like, there's another course that I want to do, because now I thought, okay, you've done the singer's course, but what about you learning how to produce music? So I was like, learn how to produce music. And then I figured that college was not the same as university, because college in America is equivalent to university. So I was like, oh my God, so there's university? I was like, let's do that too. So I stayed again longer and longer. And I think at this point, my mom just thinks, that's who she is. That's where she lives. She's coming to visit. Like nobody's waiting anymore for me to return to Germany. But I was really hungry to learn. I was very hungry, and I still am, to get to know myself better, to be a better musician, to release music, to become famous and all of that. So that's why I'm here.
So this is gonna sound a bit, but what does music mean to you?
Music is my life.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many things where I feel very unbothered. Like when people say, with your last Happy Monday, you could have da. I'm like, and then at that point, I just don't even listen anymore. I was like, cool, that's your opinion. But if somebody says, yo, in that song, you sounded, I'm like, what do you mean? Or if somebody writes, I don't know, a bad comment on YouTube, I'm very focused on trying to find out where that person lives, go to the house, knock at their door and be like, you come out, explain to me in my face what you thought about. Now I'm joking. Don't worry, guys.
But it does affect you, right? It does affect you.
I'm not saying that the opinion of others matters. Like, that was a joke. But it's like my baby, I mean, like, no parent would want anyone to say something bad about their children.
Of course, yeah.
And for me, music is something that I've birthed within me, and it's so important. Like, out of all the disciplines that I do, that's the one where I'm like, even if people say, oh yeah, we can jam, we can, sit together, go through melodies. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna jam with you, because this is my baby. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I don't jam, but, well, I haven't actually, to be honest, but in a while. But what I'm saying is, because it's that important, I would not want to do, collaborations with people that I don't know, don't like, for something, I don't know, for clicks or whatever. Not like that. For me, it has to come from my heart. It has to be very, very, very genuine. With everything else, I still try my best to be genuine, but with everything else, there might be a bit of acting, a bit more, show business and da 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 da. And it's not that deep, because it's not that deep within me. And because I haven't studied it. So when people say, oh my God, you're a great actress, I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. I mean, because it's just, I do it. And no. Have I studied it? No, but you don't have to study it. If you're talented, you're talented, right? But with music, a song could take years for me to be ready to release it, just because it's that important to me.
And where could people find your music and, like, your my pronunciation for it, Shigitu. That's your name, basically, right? Shigitu is your name, and
yes. Right, so because I didn't answer that earlier, because I was going from one question to another question, and then So my full name is LIDIAANA GHEBREHIWOT. So my father used to call me Seganina, Shegitu, all of that stuff, and I was like, I gotta call my dance class and everything pretty much that I do after myself, because nobody else can really do something with my name or steal it or whatever, because it's my name. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a name like Coca-Cola or whatever. It's actually my brand and my name. So that was the thought behind it. Like, if I create something where I, you know, can go this way and that way and up and down and change it and stuff like that, then that's up to me, rather than giving power to a name that somebody else has created. And the other question was, sorry.
Basically, your music, Shigitu.
They can find it.
Where's the best place to go to? Because I know it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. You can find it, but where would you?
I think it's everywhere at this point. I mean, streaming ain't paying that much, so it doesn't matter. So if you go anywhere, just download it, and that way the artists will get a little bit more. But anywhere, like, to be honest, I love to listen to music on YouTube. Just because you can speed it up, and then that way every you know, slow song is all of a sudden So really and truly, go to any platform that you want. I'm pretty sure that most of my stuff is on one of them. New music will come out. I know that's a new question. The next question, it will come out. I'm just not ready yet.
Okay.
And also the music videos are not ready because of this
Corona.
Pandemia, Pandora, and Pandemonium, and all of that. You know, things are unpredictable.
You've actually helped me segue to LYE when you mentioned streaming, because you know, when we talk about Amazon, we talk about all these different platforms. LYE is a streaming platform, right? It's also a production platform. So you can make your music. Company. You can. I think that's, if I'm right to say, that's how you not started, but I think you went to look for somewhere where you can make your music production. Am I right to say? How did you start? If you want to explain how LYE.
It wasn't my beginnings. My beginnings were, you know, back.
No,
when,
I was. I said the wrong thing.
Germany.
Yeah.
But I was going through, you know, like, as an artist, you have to find yourself. Like, some people have, you know, I don't know, let's say, for example, someone like Whitney, they have their parents that are already in Whitney Houston, the late Whitney Houston. They have their parents already that are into music, and they kind of lead you and stuff like that. With me, I had to find myself in music. I had to find out, am I more a Celine Dion? Am I more a Beyonce? Am I more whatever? Like, you know, am I the dancey type? Am I the one that just wants to sit with the guitar? I had to find myself. So when I did all sorts of musics and, you know, singing background for different artists, performing at different places, TV shows, la-di-da-di-da, I had time to think of who I wanted to be. And I just realized that with Eritrean music, that I was connecting way better with the audience. And I love my people. I love my community a lot. And having been able to be part of, you know, such a great company such as LYE has given me that platform to actually have a platform where all of those people are already there because they're already subscribed or they're already watching what they're doing. So that was absolutely amazing, because before that, it was like I said, with everything else, with singing, with dancing, with everything, it was a hustle. Come to my dance class, come to my concert, come to this, come to that, come to this. But having people to actually be like, whoa, I love that song, and whoa, I love what you do, and whoa, I love that interview. And for them to feel like, okay, there is someone that is like us, but a bit different, but we like it, and has been amazing. And especially for, this is my segue to the other thing. Look at me trying to take over this podcast now.
You already have. You already have.
It's earlier what I wanted to say about Shigitu, like the spiritual part of it, was as well that very often in this industry, as anything, singer, dancer, actor, blah, 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 you get to hear no very often. Hence why I have to sometimes be freaking delusional and say yes to myself. And if they reject me, I'm like, okay, whatever. But you hear words such as, she's too dark, she's too short, she's too big, we're looking for someone younger, we're looking for someone older, we're looking for this, we're looking for that. Oh, that's not the type of dance we want. And it hurts. Like a lot of people think, yeah, but that's how life is. No, like when you go and try and find a normal 9 to 5, you might go, let's say, to 10 interviews, and one of them you probably get if you go for something that you actually can do. But with creative stuff, you apply 1,000 times and maybe you get one job. So you get to hear no very often. So I am someone with thick skin. So I can take it. But also creating Shigitu was my way of making sure that the women that come, that they feel that support from me and the other women, so that when they go through life and they get to hear a no and rejection, and when they feel like, oh my God, I'm not good enough as a mother, as this, that they can say, oh no, there was this dance class where this one lady said to me, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am this, I am that, I'm that. And people that have filled them up, even though they don't know them. So now going back to LYE, throughout the industry, music industry especially, which is, male dominated, you get very often as well people with, different intentions. So you get to hear, but like, oh yeah, you're beautiful. Yeah, if you want, we can talk about this tonight at my house at 9:00.
Okay.
So you then lose the hope in what you're trying to create, and you feel like, okay, shit, am I going to do something now that I'm going to regret, and then I'm up there and get depressed and whatsoever, or am I going to stay true to myself? So for me, LYE is not just an amazing music label. For me, like the first 2 people that I met physically at that time when I joined was Wintu and Esra. And these 2 ladies, let me tell you, I mean, a powerhouse, like absolutely amazing. So the confidence that I felt just being in that building, having people that don't want anything from me, that people that actually say, yeah, no, just be yourself. And if I did something wrong, that's cool, let's do it again. I had like those thoughts of like, oh God, do I need to do something? Because I was conditioned to that. And then the second time when I came, I saw Jonas and the rest of the team and stuff like that. And I still had the same feeling. I was like, this is the first time that I meet people that understand me musically, spiritually, as an artist. They see different type of talents and they actually believe in me. Like I thought I was the only person that believed in myself, but I had people that actually believed in me without wanting whatsoever favors or whatsoever.
Did you know Winter and everyone beforehand as well? Did you know Wintana beforehand, or is it just
Winter just on the phone? So she would help me to arrange my booking, when to come and stuff like that. And then I met her on the first day of when I went there to start shooting my music video for Hagere. And nothing has changed since. I mean, still full of love, still I get to talk to most of them every week. So I'm and with Winter every day. I'm just so grateful because it didn't only restore the faith in me, it restored the faith in human beings, in music, in everything. So it was more than just music, it's a family.
Yeah. Big shout out to Winter as well.
Yes.
And
to LYE and Jonas and Esra and everybody. Woo!
Ephraim as well. Let's not. I know he's back.
Oh yes. Oh my God. Yes, of course. Oh my God, my brain. It's 7 a.m. in the morning in the UK. I am not awake yet. Thank
you. Let's keep it with music. I think we can get back into LYE, but we will get back into LYE. But working with Mo Pleasure.
Oh, yes.
What was that like? Because I know his history with music. It's it's
amazing.
It's a big one, yeah. So what was that like? What was working with someone like More Pleasure? Because I know you've done plenty of shows. You've gone to the Royal Albert Hall, like so many different places. O2 Arena. Justin Timberlake. So what was Earth, Wind and working with someone that's actually a producer like More Pleasure? How was that experience like?
Listen, at that time, I was just like, like those moments in life when you just feel like, oh my God, I'm beyond blessed. That was a moment like that. Like when we found, I was going to these events, I think it was every Tuesday, and it was called Sessions 58 in East London in Shoreditch.
Okay.
And at that time, I used to live near there. So I was like, okay, let's network, let's meet other musicians. And I would sing. And then we found out, oh, More Pleasure is coming next week from America. And I thought, went onto the Google, More Pleasure. Oh my God, oh my God. So what I loved about him, he was just so down to earth. Like, I don't know if I was that big, I don't know if I would just, be with, I'm joking, I would, I'm still humble, but you know what I mean? Like, he was very, very humble and so cool, like hugging everybody. This was pre-corona, people, pre-corona.
Yeah.
So lovely. And I was like, yeah, I really love your music and and I would like to work with you. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I thought, oh my God, he wants to work with me.
Yeah.
Like I went crazy. So I thought if I do something with him, I want it to be a fusion. So there was this beautiful Eritrean Muzmur, so like a gospel song, the one Tamal and Lamin, here we are, Jesus, I tell Lord Kanamien, and we sing it like in church, like
Yeah.
and then all the non-singers, all of them singers coming together. And then I thought, if I turn this into like neo soul, and then he adds his, million instruments that he can all play perfectly to it, what would that sound like? And so we went into the studio and did that. And out of that, the song Timalen came out.
Okay.
And it's definitely one of my favorite songs. And then since we have worked together again in different shows and stuff, and some new stuff is coming out as well. So yeah, absolutely amazing human being. Not just, like a lot of people sometimes would, that's also something that a lot of artists, I believe, struggle with. They just see you for who they see you for, like, as in like what they see on TV and what they see on the internet and stuff like that, and your talents, but they don't actually see you as the person.
Yeah.
But
your branding rather than you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why people sometimes assume, but I thought you're always happy, but I thought, yeah, but you just saw me in the supermarket, and I have an attitude, I'm on the phone or whatever, So with Mo, it's just beautiful that both sides are beyond beautiful and so genuine. So yeah, so it was one of my greatest experiences.
What would you say? Because we know we just spoke about More Pleasure, but aside that, what would you say was the best experience you had in your music career? Like, what would you say? Like, that tops everything. Aside the More Pleasure, like working with More Pleasure, what would you say is up there?
Questions like that are difficult because the thing is, I could now say something, and then in an hour, whilst I cook some food, I'll be like, oh no, you should have said this and that. And then sometimes it's so hard to remember. It's not because I'm forgetful or whatever, but it's the same thing when people say, oh my God, I like, who's your favorite person in the world? Like, you think of like 3-4 people, because those are the 3-4 people that you talk to right now. And then that other best friend is like,
you forgot me. Yeah.
So why did you not mention me? Or even that pressure of being at an award show and then thanking everybody but forgetting your husband or someone. And they're like, I want a divorce because you did not mention me. Or things like that. So I can't say the best, because there were so many. I think the first time when iTunes emailed me and said, we would like your music on our platform, or was it me begging them? And then they said, yes, you will. It doesn't matter. Fact is, I'm on iTunes, guys, okay? So, and this was like before people were on iTunes. Like, I did it independently through so many ways and people, and because this was in my college days, doing my first YouTube video where I told people, oh, I'm on YouTube. They're like, you're on YouTube? I was like, and this was like where there were maybe like 5,000 videos on YouTube at that time, you know what I mean? And I already did at that time, like, you know, the tripod thingy and filming it myself and cutting it on iMovie and stuff. So little things like that were at that time the greatest moment in life, in regards to music. Then having the opportunity to sing background for Justin Timberlake, I mean, God knows how I did not faint or how I did not run across the stage and jump on him and say, marry me, or something. I don't know why I was so well behaved on that day. But that was an opportunity again. Like, you know, you wanting to raise your standards and then being with the best of the best at a place where you see Nile Rodgers, her, and all of them in one space, and we're just standing there next to each other. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna perform in a second. Yeah, cool. What's up? What are you doing? Oh, you're from London. La, 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 la. And you just have all these conversations, and you think, how did I get here? And you're just blessed and happy and honored to have had that opportunity. But the same thing as well with getting the phone call from Wintu when she called me from LYE and said, oh yeah, we like your music video and we thought of doing this and we would like to invite you, and I thought, me? You want to invite me? I'm coming to Frankfurt for music video? Oh my God, you know what I mean? And to have a team, because at that point I was doing everything. I was doing everything and paying for everything. Meaning, who writes the song? Me. Who sings the song? Me. Who produces the song? Me. Who's going to master the song? Me. Who's going to take the picture? That's my camera, but it's my finger that is going to press on that to take a picture of me. Who's going to edit that picture? Me. Who's going to put the logo on it? Me. 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 And it's tiring. It's very, very tiring. And then having LYE, literally, oh yeah, we're gonna edit it, we'll send it to you tonight and blah blah blah, we'll pick you up. I thought, wow, what good stuff did I do in my life to deserve this? And yeah, so millions of moments. I could not say specifically it's that moment, because you shift as a person every single day, so you start becoming grateful for different things. Like today, if I feel like really, really, really bad, which I don't, I'm feeling good. I would be maybe really grateful for someone knocking at my door and offering me a coffee, you know, not a random stranger, to all the stalkers out there. I'm talking about neighbors or something, you know. I don't want to put ideas out there. Like, they're like, I heard you said, and here's the coffee that you were asking for. No. But, you know, you just got to be specific, you know. Yeah. Like, no, I swear, when people take whatever they want out of your context and then, you know, make it happen. But yeah, so when you already feel good and something better happens, I'm joking. And that's the moment where you feel extremely happy. And yeah, so I'm just happy that there were like an accumulation of a million happy moments in my life.
See, I want to segue into, but I don't want to leave some of the stuff that you.
No, go ahead. Ask me.
Because you said there is, you have these highs, right? Which is like happy Mondays and all these like great things that you do, and this positive energy. Surely there's like a, you know, what goes up must come down. Surely there's like you have these I wouldn't say depressing, but like you have these down, because you're always high energy, but surely there is that kind of that downtime. So how would you what do you do, and how do you keep yourself, you know, uplifted and motivated?
So first of all, one thing that I say very often, a lot of people always say, oh my God, you're always so happy. You get to see my happiness. I don't think I would want to come on this podcast and for you to see me crying. You know what I mean? What is the point? Like, I'll be like, I know, today's one of those bad days. You know, I mean, it wouldn't make sense. So I let people see what I want them to see. And I have this friend that said to me, Lydia, if you ever cry, just don't go on Instagram, okay? I don't like that. And I was like, okay, because for those that don't know, I cry a lot. I cry just seeing someone sad. I cry watching a movie that is about happiness. I cry about a sad movie. I cry about a sad advert. You know, like those Macmillan adverts where you know, it's slow motion and somebody's laying in bed and then you see them like being sick. I'm like, I know they're actors, but this is so sad, you know. And I cry a lot, and I think it's just releasing emotions. And since you said depressing moments, I've been depressed. Well, the thing is, sometimes people diagnose you with something and you just not really sure, was that doctor really lazy on that day? Did they just have so many appointments and just wrote down something? Because I think now looking back, I think they should have done more tests. I think now I would call it a phase of frustration. You've been very sad. You didn't have things that were able to uplift you. Like if I had to reword it, because I've had now the experience to see other people in depressing moments. And I think they've been very different than what I thought depression was. But I still released a song called Depression. Maybe because it was at that time what I felt, and then released it to kind of release the depression as well. So music is also my therapy. But just like many people, I go through a lot. I don't think that anyone is safe from bad moments. I think I've been saving myself with the way I look at things. Like I said earlier, with the perception, like even if somebody on the street is giving me a bad eye and they wanted something, I would then turn it into, hi there, how are you today? And then maybe they were planning to do, I don't know, to rob my bag or something, but at that moment they're thinking, oh man, she's too happy, let's just walk away. I don't know, maybe my perception has saved me, but things have happened in the last couple of months that really traumatized me. And in the beginning, like most people, you go to, why me? And you try to rebuild yourself. You try to rebuild your surroundings. You try to understand what's happening. But whilst all of this is happening in your mind, the world continues. And then you feel pressured of like, oh God, I gotta be happy again. I gotta do this. Hence why, because I get daily messages, why you're not doing Happy Monday. Happy Monday will come back, but I just need that authenticity to come back first. Like I love therapy. Like I know there was, with most people there's still the stigma or whatever, but I've been a fan from therapy from day one. Like when I heard therapy, I was like, whoa, yeah, let's do this, because I love to get to know myself. I love to unleash things and be like, oh wow, is that why I am like this? Is that, oh, I'm crazy? Oh, thanks, sir. Like never knew. Like I like to get to know myself and understand why I am the way I am, just for myself, not necessarily to change, because if it's not a problem, it's not a problem. But I love the mind, and I love changing mindsets and doing better. But anyway, going back to my depressing moods and or not depressing moods, but my phases of frustration or low moods or low vibrational moods, they happen often, and in those moments I cry, and when I feel like, oh, there's a lot more cry within you, then I just go through my sad songs, and I was like, let it out. And but I'm just making sure that the next day I don't have a photo shoot or whatever, because I get swollen eyes and stuff. From crying, like some people, they look the same all day. No, when I cry, you look at me and be like, are you okay? Like I look so bad. Like I am the Kim Kardashian crier, like the ugly crier, the one that says, stop it now. This is not nice, but it's good for me. It's anyway. And I think it's important to be okay with all your sides. And I am not always happy. I like to see the good. Yes. But I have now learned through, traumatic events and rebuilding myself, and I'm still on that journey. I'm on that healing journey and stuff, to really prioritize myself, because one thing that I figured out was I was like, my purpose, as it says as well on my Instagram, is to make the world a better place. And that's also inspired by the one and only Michael Jackson. Oh, love this man. Because he really dedicated his life to really make the world a better place. Like, for children, and all the haters, you may leave this podcast now. No, he was good to the children. Heal the world, and all those songs. Yeah, it was always for the children. And I always looked at him and I thought, I want this man to be my husband. But I was too young at that time. And now he's gone. Anyway, sorry, going back to the interview. So anyway, I was always inspired to see how he loved to help people. So, oh God, I'm talking so much now. I forgot what I wanted to say. Anyway, Ding, ding, ding. We were talking about having. Wait, 1 second. I need to get back, because trust me, I was about to say something really intelligent. Okay.
Yeah.
So, frustration and blah blah blah. How did I get there? Wow. Can we rewind? Rewind. How did I get there to Michael Jackson? It's like I remember now.
Depression because you wanted it. Yeah.
Thank you. So I have the low moods, and people message me all the time, like, why don't you do it? I'm just rebuilding myself, trying to find back to myself. But I know it's now still LIDIAANA, but just a better version. And I'm so glad now looking back, I'm not happy about the events that happened, because people have lost their lives and stuff, but within me it changed something. It changed me now for the better. Like, I've relearned things, I unlearned things, I built a strength that I never thought I had within me. So I am now really, 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 really grateful. So for everyone that thinks or is maybe even annoyed by seeing somebody happy all the time, just know that out of those 3 minutes or 2 minutes that you've seen, there's still 23 hours and 58 minutes where somebody else could also be sad. And I think that assumption is also not very good, because especially at this time right now, I forgot the lady that took her life last week, the one Miss Universe, Chesley something. Beautiful lady. And I know some Eritrean podcasters and YouTubers were talking about her as well, because my mom found out, and then she called the auntie club and then the WhatsApp group, and she was like, and I'm like, forget artists or people that look happy on Instagram. Even people that don't look happy on Instagram, you don't know what's happening in their lives. So rather than judging it and thinking, oh yeah, I just saw her dancing, oh, I just saw her doing this, oh, I just saw him getting married or whatever, call people, ask, how are you, especially for men, because men just really don't like to open up, because this is one of the reasons why so many people suffer in silence. So and then eventually take their own lives, which is horrific, absolutely horrific, because so many lives could be saved. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not always happy, but I choose what I like to show, like, so that's it. That was the long answer. Sorry.
When was the last time you cried?
Do you know what? Funny enough, yesterday I did not cry because I was that busy.
This is very go on. Yeah,
you know when you're like so busy, like I had a photo shoot first of all, and for photo shoots I make sure that I don't cry the day ahead. So I have not cried in at least 3 days. Ooh, I think this is the moment when I should start.
No, but I think sometimes it's good to cry. I think I know it doesn't sound right, but I think sometimes
it does.
It's not. Yeah, I mean,
do you cry sometimes?
Home Alone 2, the end scene,
Home Alone 2. Is that when he goes to New York? Oh no, when the parents go to New York.
When he goes to New York, yeah.
Oh, you mean that moment where it's just like, it's like, Mama! Is that the moment? That's it.
And see when he's giving out gifts, and he's like, what? They look at the credit card, like the receipt, and they're like, give it. But yeah,
bless
no.
you. What
I
about
have,
Lion King? Lion King, does that make you
I
cry?
haven't seen Lion King for since I was a kid. I never like, but no, I've cried. Yeah, of course I've cried. Just remembering certain things like triggers it, and it makes you feel like, okay, you know what, and you have to. You kind of have to express yourself, let it go. I mean, it doesn't have to be like, it shouldn't be in front of people, but it's like, people say, yeah, like I've usually said, oh yeah, I cry every morning just to get my day kind of going. But this is not a podcast about me. Yeah, it's a podcast about you. So
I told you I'm taking over.
What we just spoke about, we spoke about happiness, even crying, depression, like being sad, but love and music. During your whole music career, like how did love and music become part of what you do, and is it coming back?
So for those that don't know, when I started working with LYE, I for one did my music video Hagere and started producing other songs with them, and then they wanted to create a show, like a talk show, and Wintu called me, and that phone call I will never forget. Wintu, as you know, speaks the most perfectest Tigrinya ever. Yeah. So when I just heard her on the phone, I just thought, oh, so sweet. She just came from Adi. Like, that's what I thought. Like, I literally thought, Miss Tinati from Adi, her first job, she's probably an intern or something. I was like, oh, so just well done. Like I even wanted to do like the very slow German and English with her, because I just thought she just speaks Tigrinya. And then she says to me, oh, by the way, we wanted to start this show, and it's like, 70s inspired and this and Afro and whatever. And we were looking for a host. But my only question is, do you speak Tigrinya? Like I said, guys, remember, my mouth speaks faster than my brain. Yeah. And then also I'm delusional. So it's all mixed up in one.
Yeah.
So I said to her, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I literally, with fullest confidence, I started buying the clothes that I wanted for the show, got my hair did, blah, 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 flying in. They sent me a script.
So you was in London, flying into Germany?
Into Frankfurt, yeah, for the show.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the script. And one thing that I've learned in life is sometimes when it's too hard, just let it flow. Like I'm such a flower. Like even sometimes I don't even rehearse things at all. But then when I'm on stage,
they weren't your questions. They weren't your questions. It was scripted.
No, they were. Well, let me get to that point.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
There was an intro and there was a story and everything, and Wintu needed hours to really rewrite it in like, what's it called, in the alphabet, right? So
okay,
Heme Alohum la la la, like so that I can read it because I can't read it. And then I looked at it and I thought, oof, this looks hard. So I put it away. I just thought, hey, when you get there, something's gonna happen. And then literally, I'm not a lazy person, but just sometimes I do really lazy things. So I put it under my cushion or under my pillow to sleep on, thinking maybe overnight it's going to go into my brain. I don't know where I got the stupid idea from, but it did not work. Guys, don't do it. Don't do what I said, okay?
Don't sleep on it.
Do not, because I did that thinking it would go into my brain. It didn't. So I end up being on set. And everybody's looking at me. Nails are done. Hair is done. Makeup is done. Outfit is done. And then, action. And I'm looking at the thing. I was like, the Khabakum Sabat and Sabat Habalab. And everybody's like,
what?
Like the everybody's just looking and thinking, shit.
Yeah.
She doesn't speak Tigrinya. I mean, you guys know I speak Tigrinya, but it's like Lydianese. It's like a bit of Tigrinya, a bit of German, a bit of mix, much, and I make up words as well. So, because they're so sweet, they just said, it's okay. And then I came up with so many ideas. I was like, Winter, maybe you read that. And I just moved my lips. Like I really wanted that show. And I was like, at all
Yeah.
costs, somebody's going to do my work and I will pretend it's me, you know? And they were like, okay, we'll try this. We'll try this. And then, we even did a second outfit thinking maybe this episode is going to work, as if a new outfit would work. But anyway, we tried again and I completely failed, completely.
Yeah.
But it was all in a very loving way. So we just sat there and thought, oh man. But I still think it was hilarious. So Jonas then watched it back and he was like, I love it. I love it. Lydia, from now on, don't try to speak Tigrinya. Just try and speak however you want to speak.
Yeah.
And that's the result of what you see. No questions prepared. No whatsoever. Every time as somebody comes into the room, I'm like, hello, superstar.
Yeah.
A little bit of flirting, a
Yeah.
little bit of this, a little bit of that. Because they were like, you know what? The community has never seen anyone like you. I think nobody has ever seen anyone like you. Like your personality is like from left to right and up and down. And especially in the Eritrean community, we have people that are so shaped to be in this, I don't want to say box, but like Habesha women are like this. Habesha is like this. Like there's a norm, and I'm way out of that norm. So doing the show, there were obviously people that were like, "Why is she doing that?" And then other people that were just like, "Yeah,
Loving it,
loving it." And I've learned so much about everyone. Like, I mean, the inboxes that I was getting, the stories. Oh my god! Like when, especially story time, when people would tell me, I have a boyfriend, but I'm in love with somebody else. I was like, "Oh, girl,
These one you didn't make these stories up. These are actually inbox stories.
literally."
Amazing.
Like
Amazing.
I had to stop clicking on people's pictures to find out who they are, because like I mean, I'm not a judgmental person at all. I'm a very forgetful person at the same time, meaning I might see you on the street and you'll be like, Lydia, do you remember what I told you? And I'd be like,
Nah.
nope. And they might have told me that one secret that no one in the world knows but me. But I literally didn't look at their names. I just double checked, okay, is that a guy, is that a girl, older, younger, or whatever. And then literally re-given the story to the show. And at the beginning, I was shocked, obviously, because I was like, oh, community. Never thought that. But then at the same time, I felt very blessed that people trusted me. And I always say, I'm so busy with my own life and with my own things that I have no time to really judge others or to tell other people about your business. Like when I talk to people, I want to talk about me. Like there's no point talking to you and telling you something about Roger, my neighbor. It doesn't make sense. Do you know what I mean? Like this is an interview about me. So when people always say, oh, Nisab Kate Nagri, I was like, bruv, who am I going to tell? Ain't nobody wants to know, apart from story time. But yeah, so that's how the show came up, like really natural, promoting the artist on the label, highlighting how much work it is, because a lot of people, they're like, oh, Miss ABC I want to do this, but people don't understand that you need somebody to write the script, you need somebody to find the location, you need to find the person that is going to film it, and it's going to take 3-4 days. You need somebody to cut it, to edit it, to do the grading, and so much. So that's why it was so good to have a variety of people coming, like the German produce, the Eritrean musicians, Wintu, being like literally a talent in front and behind the camera. To kind of express how much work it is and how much talent it needs. So yeah, really grateful for the opportunity. After that, we started working more on music, and then the pandemonia started happening. So we shall see. I think once a bit of music is out, there will be more time as well to do new episodes. So,
what was that experience like? Like you had control of everything. You had control of doing everything. Like you said, like you do the production, the video, you'll do the music, everything. You do yourself, the marketing, everything. And then actually handing a piece of everything that you do over to like a production company like LYE? Like, how was that? What there are strengths and there are weaknesses, but what was that transition like?
I think if I was an artist that didn't do all the work by herself, studied everything, put the money in, la di da di da di da, I wouldn't have appreciated a company like LYE as much as I do. And I think that's why, you know, like sometimes musicians, Habesha or non-Habesha or whatever, they just think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to that label and they will just do it, they'll make me to a star. But they don't see all the other things that it takes. Like, you got to know who you are in order for a label to actually bring out the real you. You know what I mean? So if I don't know what I want to do, then somebody else can mold me into who they want me to be. But that's not only with music, that's also in friendships, that's also in relationships. If you have a very dominant husband that is very clear on what he wants, he'll be able to tell you, oh, change your religion, change your way, change this, change that, because you don't know who you are. So for me, knowing who I am, well, anyway, as much as I could at that time, having seen how much work I've done on my own, it was like a weight off my shoulders, yeah, to see people that are more than okay with who I am and supporting that on top of that. So for me, it was a blessing, because what I also want to say is when you do the jobs of, I don't know, 25 people, yeah, you're the investor, the producer, the music, the ideas and anything, you will love the product no matter what, because you did 100%. That. That's the same thing like when you cook food. I don't know how
excellent,
well of a cook.
You're
excellent. Okay. Me, I'm not. So even if it's little burnt, I'm like, Lydia, you made that. You will eat that. You know, I mean, like there is this, on one hand, I don't want to waste food. And on the other hand, I'm like, you did that. So you know it's burnt, you're going to eat it. No, it doesn't happen that often, but you know what I mean. So the same thing as well with your own music and everything that you create. You will love it no matter what. But what happens is once you've done all the work, when it comes out, you're tired. You don't have the energy anymore to tell people on the street, yo, go on my Spotify, check out my new music. You're tired because you've done so much work, and then you just hope you put it out, and then you close your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you hope millions of views. And it doesn't happen often. And I mean, it happens for some people, which I'm very happy about. But it's hard work. So knowing that you're with a company where all those things are not a worry, like you don't have to think, like, where am I going to get a photographer from? Because there's a photographer in-house who's going to re-listen to the song or whatever. No, there are multiple producers. Who's going to do that? The right people are there. And for me, it's a blessing. But also the combination of knowing who I am, having done the work by myself, helped me to also, you know, being able to explain that in moments when it wasn't fully understood. But most of the time it was understood anyway. So, yeah.
So let me just phrase this right, because obviously you're doing the music, you're in the music industry. You, like, even with LYE, like Wintu, I think Wintu should be like in management, like Eritrean music management, like managing, you know, artists and stuff like that. Because she's very, you know, she has a good mind. But with yourself, I think is there such thing as management? Is there such thing as like Eritrean artist management?
Yeah, LYE is partly managing me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so not the whole thing, but everything in regards to Eritrean music is being managed by them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Winter was definitely a big part of that. Like, for me to see not only an Eritrean label, but also an Eritrean label with German efficiency. Now that is, to me, unheard of, because I don't know any, I have not worked with other Eritrean companies whatsoever, but just in general, like, you know, different cultures have got different different ways of working.
Yeah.
So Habeshas often say to themselves, "Oh, I don't like that thing. Like for me, growing up in Germany, I like, you said you're gonna do that at that time, you do it at that time, you know, like it's also because I'm a Virgo, but I like efficiency and stuff like that. So having that combination there is heaven sent. So yes, they do manage, because managing your career, managing the songs that you write to, helping you, supporting you, pushing you, that's all management. That's, you know,
because then you could leave the artist to do the music or do the
that's right.
creativity.
That's right, exactly.
Okay, this is a, I don't know why I wrote it like this, but okay, let's go for it. You mentioned listening to other podcasts and just reading up on stuff. Your mum was a big part of making sure you excel, making sure you push what you say in your mind. This is what I want to do, and she would be, yes, let's go, let's do this. But there was a part where you mentioned, if I remember rightly, that you was in a hairdresser's and I think they tipped hot water or something like that, and it kind of made you feel, because obviously you ended up getting a burnt scar, if that, and you had to keep it, you had to hide it away from your mom, and you know, that experience there led to something great in a sense, because you was able to experience being free in a sense, being open, and opportunities came, like such as the lingerie adverts. So when it comes to that, your mum's being very open, supportive, and then you mentioning that, you know, once this advert came up, your sister was supportive, but your mum was like, what is going on? What have you done? Like, you know,
she fainted on WhatsApp.
Can you
on FaceTime, yeah.
Can you explain that whole scenario? Because it is quite, it's fascinating.
I love the research
it's the truth,
you've done. This is great. Thank you. So for those that don't know, within the first couple of months, moving to London, I had an accident. Well, you can call it accident or no, let's be positive. It's Sunday. Anyway, so this lady decided to spill this woman decided to spill hot boiling water on my leg. She was trying to use it for someone else's hair, you know, like the artificial braids that you have, and that sometimes you need to dip it in hot water to quickly get it to glue together at the ends. However, there was a child, and she wanted to use it for the child, and because, you know, balance or whatever, she spilled it on me. Obviously, I'm happy that it happened to me, because if it happened on the child's head and face or whatever, that child might have died. Also because it took them very, very, very long to actually take it serious. And on top of that, they put Vaseline on my skin, which then completely burnt my skin. And I was already, you know, slightly conservative with what I was wearing and stuff like that. So coming to London, you know, I thought, okay, maybe I can be a model, maybe I can do this and that. And then I was like, yeah, definitely not. So I struggled very much with people saying, oh my God, she's so pretty. And oh my God, what are you wearing? This is so long. Wear something shorter. Let's go to the beach and stuff like that. Because I was like, I would have, but not anymore. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't tell people, you know, what happened to my leg. And in the beginning, I was sitting in a wheelchair and stuff like that. That's when I got into the first phase of, you know, frustration / depression or whatever. You know, they did diagnose me, but I think it was more like you know, it was 2 sessions, and I don't think you can do that in 2 sessions with a therapist. Anyway, and I honestly believe, like, for everyone that is listening right now, if you're still here after 2 hours, hey, how you doing? Go and get up and get something to drink. Go on your toilet break real quick. We're gonna wait, okay? I think it's that everything that happens to you will lead you eventually to something good. It will. Because for me at that time, I was so busy to not tell my mom so that she doesn't tell me because it would be her fear of knowing that I'm with bad people and that bad things can happen to me. But I was like, literally, I said, fuck it. I'm just going to continue. I don't care. I'm gonna get what I want. And so I don't know how long, but maybe for 2-3 years, I was still struggling with showing my leg. And then eventually when I went with my mom to Massawa, she's like, oh, we're going on holiday. We're going to Massawa. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then I realized, oh, my leg. Oh no. What am I going to say? And then I thought maybe I can sit on her right side this whole time so that she wouldn't see my left leg,
You're actually trying to figure out which,
wow. Or maybe I could be very fashionable, like one short trouser, one longer dresses, and I don't know. So I was being creative. But then eventually I told her while she was surrounded with Eritrean aunties, just in case she would be like, in case she wants to beat me up. No, I'm joking. She stopped doing that. No, I'm sorry, Mama. I'm joking. Shevet, Mohos, all those things, But I just thought, in the safety of the family, she might not be as shocked or as angry for deceiving her. And I felt this type of freedom, yes. But I also I started also loving myself in a different way. Like I really struggled with people seeing just, the face and the shape and be like, oh, she's beautiful. And then trying to do more with me. And then me thinking, no, I can't. Because I knew they had a perception, but that inner beauty of me, I could not see it. Yeah. And I mean, because I suffered. I was really, I didn't think I was ugly, but I thought I had an ugly leg. And it just really lowered a part of my confidence. And then eventually I couldn't even see anymore which leg that was. I was like, which one? I was oh, okay. I think left one, the right one. Was it my arm? Okay, it's gone. And when you can't see it that much anymore, you will realize that a lot of people can't see it either. There's the same thing with you might have a pimple on your face and you think, oh my God, everybody's going to see my pimple. But then you go out and not a single person mentioned it or saw it because it's you that can see it. And it's really pretty much all sorts of problems. Like all your insecurities, you are the one that sees it because you know yourself, but somebody else might not even notice it. And that's what I noticed with my scar. Nobody actually did notice it. I was like, oh, wow, thank God I didn't have surgery operations that like the skin grafting or whatever. Thank God I didn't do it. But yeah, so then I think when was that in the first panorama year, I wrote on one of those dating apps. My next project is to go on the beach with a bikini bottom. I know it's very un-Eritrean, but it's who I am. This is who I am. Accept me. And then obviously guys would be like, oh yes, this is your goal of life. I was like, yes, this is my goal. I just wanted something to have a conversation. But I really thought, I was like, you know what? This beauty is beautiful. This beauty needs to be seen by the world. Why not? But then Panorama happened. So I was like, which beach am I going to go to? But then the opportunity came in a different way, through an opportunity to do underwear modeling. So when they approached me, and the first one was Heist, like an official one for just underwear. I'm not talking about other e-commerce brands that do different things. I'm talking specifically just for that. They were asking me so many questions. I was so hungry to work because I was in the house all the time that I was like, listen, yes. I clicked yes on everything because I was like, I actually don't care. I'm just going to go there and I'm going to slay. And little did I know, when they, I should have read the questions and whatsoever, but it wouldn't have changed anything because I knew what I wanted to do is to work. And I wanted to break out of my shell because even being lonely, being in the house on your own, not connecting with other people feels like you're not moving. And I just wanted to move. And I was like, let me move like 20 steps ahead. I wasn't even ready. My body wasn't ready. None of me was ready. But I just said, my mouth was opening by itself and it said, yes, I will do the shoot right now. So I went there. And the other models were already experienced. They did their thing.
Yeah.
I had to pretend like I was experienced, and
Yeah.
I tried to do my thing, and and then I thought, oh, that's a thong. And you know what? I was like, you see, you really manifested this. You can't even blame anyone. You put it on that app. Thousands of men have seen it. Everybody now put that in your thoughts. And now it happened. And I was so happy about it. I'm not talking about the exposure of the booty. I'm talking about the fact that I've gone for what I wanted. Like to feel like, there was not 1 second that I thought, oh my God, what if they see my scar? Because I forgot about it. I was literally more focused on, I hope everything sits. That was because I was jumping and dancing and all of that stuff, because in order to get good pictures, you gotta move around and look like an angel. And it just boosted my confidence so much. And then afterwards I worked with Max and Spencer and with
Is this from
Blue
one
Avenue.
advert? Is this from one advert and it just ended up and it's category of lingerie?
Yeah. I mean, amazing. I do other things as well.
Yeah, amazing.
But once they see on your profile, oh, you've got things like that, then it's more. Then it's not going to feel like, do we have to convince her? It's going to be more like, oh, we can see she's done that, so let's go for it. So even when you showcase an advert, it's so much easier to then send that advert to someone, and then they'll be like, oh, we can have her as an actress. If you don't have anything to showcase, nobody's going to know if you can do it or how good you are and stuff. So for me, it just boosted my body confidence in a completely different way, because with everything else, like even when I dance Shigitu and whatever, I still wear my tights, obviously for multiple reasons. On one hand, you don't want to hurt your knees when you're on the floor and stuff like that. But also, it just looks nicer sometimes when everything sits where it's supposed to sit. But doing something where you're practically, doing something that you usually do at home has been absolutely empowering for me. Like for me, and then on top of that, to see that on the billboards of the shops, I just stood there and I thought, is that me, Miss? I have a scar on my leg. Miss,
was
I
it a surprise to you when you saw it, or was it just you was walking one day and you knew where it was going to be?
Obviously, when you see it bigger, you see it. I mean, my friends that saw it did still not seeing it. They're like, well, like that. Like even most of the people would not see it, but I can see it, I mean, and it was not edited. It was an airbrush, which I love. Even like the copies of the other pictures that were in was it the Cosmopolitan or one of those bigger magazines, not edited, loved it. And it just boosted my confidence, because I was like, they probably didn't see it, which is great, because I can't see it either. So I just really think, like, I completely forgot about thankfully about the judgment and stuff like that, because like I said to my mom, that's how I taught her. I was like, Mom, when you go through a catalog, you got to see it on somebody in order to know how it would look on you. So if you see somebody in your size, you actually feel like, oh, it looks like that on her. Oh, I want to wear that too because it looks really good on her, you know? So it's a normal thing. Like we can't go to any store without seeing any models on the wall. You know what I mean? So that's the same thing with lingerie and underwear and stuff like that. So for me, it has been an unexpected manifestation, but I'm very happy about it, because again, many years later, it makes now sense why that accident had to happen, because I had inner work to do that I wasn't aware about at that time. And I had to, relearn to really see my beauty in a different way. I had to learn how to open up other people as well, to see beauty in different ways, how to be more body positive. And along the way, I had to create Shigitu in order to empower others. So everything is part of your journey. And I think the easy, like if I had to give advice, nobody asked me, but I'm just giving you unsolicited advice. I think the less you go around watching other people and judging other people and whatsoever, and the more you actually focus on yourself and on your journey and trying to understand what it means to experience something. Like, what did it mean that I lost I don't know, a friend, family member or something. What did it mean that I had an accident? What did it mean to have experienced terrible things in the music industry? What does it mean? When you focus on that and focus on your healing, then you will reach that point where you say, that's why. So every problem is really temporary because it will make sense, but you also have to be open to want to see it. Because if you don't look out for the answer, if you don't look out for why certain things are happening, and you're dwelling on why me, why this, why that, then that's exactly the reality that you're creating for yourself. You're welcome.
It's not really. It's you made this a lot more easier to do. But you mentioned like dating apps and actually, doing something that your people aren't really comfortable with, but actually then. Yeah, no, like it's not really, when people look at themselves and they're like, oh no, I don't feel comfortable. Like even when you're changing clothes and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go out, this is what I'm gonna wear, this is what I want to wear, but you end up not wearing it, and it's like even like I was gonna say with the dating apps, like people actually, like with the shame your mum saying to you, like, oh what are you doing? But it's like that shame. I mean, how do you actually do it? How do you get the confidence to actually do it? Because it's very, once you overcome it, you have this kind of, I wouldn't say sensation, but it's this effect where you've accomplished something and you're dignified. But how do you do it? How do you build that confidence? Or did you always have that confidence? But anyway, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people think sometimes that confidence is that one thing. Like, I had people sometimes requesting really weird things. They're like, oh, I want to do this, but I want to do it there. And I'd be like, first of all, I don't know this photographer. I'm not comfortable with them. And what they want is not aligned with me. And then they would always use that, didn't you say you're confident? And I'd be like, don't use my words against me. Like, confidence doesn't mean that you will do anything and everything and you will shine through it all. That's not confidence. Confidence means that you're sure of who you are and what you want, and you go for it. But you can still choose what it is that you want and what you don't want. So for me, I think, I don't know if I saw that on a TV show or if that was an interview and stuff like that, but I once learned, if you get to that point where you're so open about things that you don't have any secrets, then people can't use anything against you. And I don't think that I have that many haters out there that they would say, I know that LIDIAANA is on a dating app, but she's telling everybody she's married, or I don't live a double, triple, quadruple life or whatever. Like, what you see is what you get. So it's like I'm trying to be aligned with who I am and stay true to myself. I mean, there were moments like with everybody else as well, where people try to pretend to be something, but I see that as fake it till you make it. You got to boost yourself and tell people, no, Grammy, American Music Awards, that's me. Like, I have it already, No, but like sometimes you have to boost yourself in different ways, and maybe you then lie. But for many years, I realized I can't even remember my own lie. So it's so much easier to just stay true to yourself and to say it. Like, what's the point of me saying I'm with someone, and then somebody says, I saw you on Tinder, or I saw you on Bumble, and then what? Somebody stole my face and they pretended to be me. Like, what's the point? Like, who's that person that I need to lie to that person? You know what I mean? Like, why would I try to be someone else for that person? Is that person a hater? If that's a hater, why are you friends with that person? Why are you even talking to that person? And I think without being too shady on this beautiful Sunday, our community is full of that.
Yeah,
trying to be somebody else, trying to no, can this husband me? I find it so much easier to just say the truth. Like, or when people say, oh, but Lidu, you're like this, why are you not like that? Because other Habeshas don't do it. Yeah, cool, let them do it. Like, I don't care, because I'm not trying to be like someone. I'm trying to be like the best version of me. So being honest about things that you do, and is I think the most healthiest way. Like, I don't want to go to bed and then be like, wait a minute, did I tell that person that I'm half Jamaican, or did I tell her I'm half Nigerian? You know what I mean? Like, when you come up with stupid lies, you have to remember them, and that takes space in your brain for better things. And my brain is so full of ideas and projects and thoughts and studies and books and movies and stuff. Why would I add lies to it? Doesn't make sense to me.
5 steps to be a more 5 steps to become a more confident you. I mean, I was on your website, LIDIAANA.
Yeah. Thank you for buying it. Thank you.
But it wasn't on your website. It was on Shigitu.
Oh, my Shigitu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
because it
okay,
advertises Shigitu.
okay. So very concise, straight to the point.
Yes.
Where did that come from? Because I know we just mentioned about confidence and things like that. Obviously, we know where it came from, but could you tell us more about the book? Yeah.
So I have a friend called Andrew, and he's been, on his business journey for a while, and he's an amazing musician and drummer. And he would always say, LIDIAANA, you know what? You need to write an ebook, and you add that as your extra to the classes and blah blah blah. And every time he said that, I was like, yeah, but what do I write about? I'm not a writer. I don't even speak English, and I come with my little not insecurities, but I think sometimes we say things that we should not say to ourselves, because subconsciously it still drags our energy down and our skills, and you don't make yourself look good. So he said that very, very often. And then I just thought, okay, maybe the right moment will come eventually. And then I got asked by this company called Killing Kittens, KK, to write like blogs about, about love, about my confidence, about this. And I was like, oh, yes. And I was like, yes, now I'm a writer. Somebody's asking me to actually write for their website where millions of people, thousands, I don't know, maybe millions, trillions, billions, trillions. Anyway, will read it. So I thought, okay, this is an opportunity. I will obviously, as you know me, not say no to something that actually can help me grow. And that's something that challenges me. So I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And then there was another blog that I wrote, and then another blog. And I was like, wow, I'm a writer. So I was able to change, not an insecurity, but just something that I would not use to, I used to say, I don't really read. I don't really write, to I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm an authoress. I am a reader. I read books. To make that actually into a strength. And sometimes, like I said earlier as well, someone sees something and you don't actually see in yourself. So they must have seen a specific voice in me. They didn't think, she's German, she has a German accent, she speaks funny, maybe she's not a good writer. No, they actually thought, we have time, you have time, write it. And I love that, because people see you sometimes just for who you are, and you see yourself with your past, your insecurities, your whatsoever. So as I then got really busy writing, I thought, yo, I could actually now put together some of these things, like a bit of inspiration from these, and then other things all together into an ebook. And then I have that little bonus thing that I wanted to have all this time. And now that was the time when, most people were at home. I was like, now I have no excuses. And it really helped me as well to actually do my to-do list. Like, that endless to-do list that we all have on our phones. Like, one day you will, and they're like, yeah, next year. And when I did that, I was like, oh, it's a book. And I wanted to keep it very concise, simply because when I get a big book, my first thing is like, ooh, when am I going to read it? And then I go through the preface. I'm like, ooh, 5 pages. Ooh. Oh, the font is really small. Ooh. And then I go to the whole book. I was like, 382 pages. And that little Do you have the time? Do you have enough space in your bag? Blah, blah, blah voice kicks in, right? So I thought of what type of book would I want? I was like, first of all, a book that is an ebook that is on your phone, number one. What would you want? I was like visualization, because everybody has got different type of visualization. Some people see illustrations, like that illustration that you saw recently of that pregnant woman, and everybody realized that we have never seen a pregnant illustration of a baby. Do you know the one that I mean, the one that was viral like 2 months ago? It's like basically just a simple illustration of a pregnant woman and how the baby looks inside and whatever. And we're so used to see the white version, like a white woman. And this illustrator did for once a black woman, and we realized how crazy it is sometimes to see yourself in a book. You know what I mean? So I love pictures. I like to look at pictures and be like, oh, so when they think of happiness, that's what they see. And then I thought I share my way of how I like to see my visuals, and keep it nice and short, because the thing is, when you give an advice and you say, I don't know, for example, like we talked about earlier with affirmations, if I give them all the clues about how I do it, they're now going to do it the LIDIAANA way. But I really felt like I give you the push and you can do the rest, because you owe it to yourself. Like nobody's going to, like, I don't want anybody to be, I mean, in general, not in regards to me, but to be dependent of something, I mean, to be like, oh yeah, I have to do therapy for 5 years. I have to do this for 5 years, because they are so used to having an inner voice that isn't theirs, but it's the inner voice of someone else, right? So I kept it nice and short, because that's how I would like to read a book, number one. And then also because I want other people's creativity and fantasies and thoughts and manifestations or whatever to kick in. And then towards the end, as you saw, it leads to Shigitu and advertises Shigitu classes. And then for those that, that can come and want to come and are women, they will come and then feel that energy in person. So, or they come to the online classes. So yeah, it was a bit of advertising the dance class, but also a bit of a mini kick and booster at a time where everyone needed a booster.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy reading like self-help books and things like that. So I enjoyed reading your book.
Thank you.
You mentioned self-love.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Like someone that, if you could explain it, self-love rather than...
It's everything. I think some people just think self-love is just going to the spa. I mean, it's very important. I go to the spa like 2-3 times a week because it's a part of my gym. Very important. But self-love is also being true to yourself. Like I said earlier, not lying about yourself, not having secrets, like being aligned with yourself. If you're trying to be 7 different people at the same time, you clearly don't love yourself because you're trying to be someone else. If you're eating, and you might get offended, but if you're eating meat, if you're eating bad stuff where it came from, like, everyone has different opinions, but it's my opinion. If you, you don't know what that animal was going through, I mean, that animal might have been depressed all their lives because they were separated from their family. And here you're sitting, eating the meat and be like, I don't know, wedding, whatever, and you're eating it. That's not good energy. So I love myself enough to know that I don't want to eat something that I know did maybe not come from a good place. And that to me is self-love as well, like, because the healthier I stay, the longer I can, see my children and children's children and children's children and the whole family, right? Because everything that you do to damage your mental health, your outer self, your inner self, your stomach and whatsoever is going to be seen, it's going to be felt at some point. So my type of self-love is to do the very, 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 very best for myself. And even if that means to have to remove people out of my life just because I know it's not going to be good for my mental health. So that's self-love to me.
Yeah. That's great. Removing people out of your life. I'm not saying that's great, but that even doing such things because like, oh no, they're actually this, and it's kind of, sometimes it needs to be done, and it makes your life, your well-being better. But you can also add yourself into people's life. So with your charity, how does your charity work? And you've named it after yourself, right? LIDIAANA charity.
The LIDIAANA Foundation. Yes.
Foundation, yeah. Could you explain to us about that and how it works? And how people can help out as well, you know?
Yes, thank you. The inspiration was from my grandfather. He passed away many years ago, but at that time, when my grandfather and my grandmother were still alive, I always, like, they were for a long time in Dridawa in Ethiopia, and then they moved or had to move to Asmara. And I can only remember that there were always so many kids in the house, and they just loved my grandparents. Obviously, sometimes I was a little jealous. I was like, get away from my grandfather. But everyone was always happy to be surrounded by my grandparents. And I loved that because they always had enough sweets. They had these little shops, you know, like the shops with sweets and everything. Yeah. So all the kids would be like, yeah, sweet. And oh yeah, we're going to dance. Oh, we're going to sing. So that has always inspired me to want to be like that when I'm grown. And then along the way, I would obviously see Michael Jackson. And then I thought, oh, maybe I don't have to be that grown. Maybe I can also do that in my younger years to be, you know, supportive, to be an inspiration for the nation or for the community and all of that stuff, because it truly makes me happy to see other people happy. Like you know, the German word Schadenfreude, like to see other people struggling or like that negativity. I like to say that you know, we all have a little bit of that inside of us, but it's not very often within me. So me seeing somebody happy or getting married or whatever, like I'll be crying as if it was my own wedding. I'll be like, girl, I'm so happy we're here. You know what I mean? And the same way as well, like just, you know, seeing somebody being grateful about something little makes me happy, as if I've received something in that moment. And I received that smile, and that smile will keep me going for many, many years. So inspired by all these amazing people, I always wanted to do something. So at a time when this was around the time when 2010, when I released Ade, I was like, okay, let me go to Eritrea, let me record the song. Yeah. And I was very, very unhappy because I just got out of my first relationship with a guy. It didn't work out, you know, your first heartbreak, and you're like, you listen to all these R&B music and you want to stand in the rain. You're like, why did you leave me? No, I left him, but never mind. But in that moment, you get through that phase of, you know, I mean, yeah. Don't ask me, guys. You all know, you all went through a breakup at some point. So, you know, the feelings that come out, right? So
listening to Mario and stuff like that.
Yeah. And who's the other one? Like, one wish. Na, 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 na. If I had one wish. Like, oh, God. I went through all the new soul songs, like all of them. None of them were safe. All of those songs and all the crying. And then in the morning when I wake up, Lydia, the handy. Yeah, the hand, yeah, you know, like, you know, everybody has to go through it once. But I then really had to dig deep and ask myself, what makes you happy? And I said, to see other people happy. But it felt so random because I actually was like, so what am I going to say? I'm going to ask people to smile at me or whatever. And then I thought, okay, I had these, you know, these bags from my university that they were giving away. And, you know, I was like, yo, I can take loads of them. And then all my friends were like, oh, why are you taking so many? I was like, I'm taking it to Africa, you know? So making them feel bad. I was like, reparation, bitches. So I took the bags. Like, I mean, it was given to the students. So I did not steal, just letting you know. I didn't steal. It was meant for our students. But I took it off and I took it with me to Eritrea. And then I said to my grandfather, oh, can you, you know, accumulate all the kiddies from the area, and I'm going to make them sing my song. And they're actually at the end of Ade. I think that's it. So Ade, Ade, very nice. And at the end, you see them like, Ade, Ade. Because I was like, you ain't getting anything for free. You got to sing. And then they were like, yeah, of course we're going to sing. And you like how kids are. They're like so motivated. Yeah. And I was like, I mean, I would have given it to them anyway. But But it was so nice for them to actually be like, okay, I'm going to go home and I'm going to wear something else so I can sing in LIDIAANA's video, you know?
Yeah.
And they were all so excited. And then I gave them bags, the bags, the stationery, so basically anything that they need for school, a little bit of ka-ching ching. And the mothers, oh my God, and the parents, they were so appreciative. And then they tried to give me gifts back. I was like, no. I'm giving you the gifts. They're like, no, and then the kids painted for me and drew for me pictures for the next couple of weeks because they were so grateful. And even without that, like, I was so grateful that they were grateful. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to keep this going. So it's been 12 years now. I mean, I know most Habesha families, they send these big things. In Germany, we call it Fass, with clothes and stuff like that to their families and their neighbors and stuff like that. Thankfully, now we can directly send, money with, those companies.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not advertising today.
I don't know. It's okay.
But like different ways of sending money on whatsoever. And it's as much as I understand that people have their own struggles in the diaspora and whatever, it's also very important to help out where we can, and to send help, money, this, that to especially to the families with little children, so that they have at least a childhood and something to be happy about and stuff. So the proceeds from the book, for example, were sent, so thank you for buying the book this morning, will be sent to Eritrea. And how I do it is I usually send it to my auntie, and then I just tell her, like, can you check in your area who's not doing too well right now? And then she just gives it to them. And it means a lot to me. Obviously, I wish, that millions of people would buy the book. If you hear this, go to my website right now and buy the book. So that I can.
What's the website?
Help more
what was
people.
The website?
I think it's on my dance page, but you can also find it on my Instagram, guys. So LIDIAANA music with AA, LIDIAANA music, or you go to my dance page, www.shigitu-dance.com. But really and truly on all of my socials, everything is pretty much connected. Check out some music, watch the music videos about 10 times, let them rotate, go through the whole playlist. Thank you very much. But yeah, obviously the more income you have, the more you can help.
Yes.
So there are a lot of things that I want to do one day. But for now, it's just sending proceeds. And especially, I don't know when that was, a year and a half ago, one of my auntie's neighbors, a mother, she actually took the life of her 3 children and then took her own life because they didn't have enough money. And in our community,
Where's this in Eritrea?
This is in Eritrea. Yeah. And we do not like to talk about that. Like, what happened? I'm like, no, bro, like, we got to talk about that, because it's depression is an illness, just like your heart and whatsoever, but with certain things we're so okay with, and with certain other things we're not. So people don't understand how it can damage people to talk bad about them, to judge them and stuff like that. And that's why there's this fear of opening up. So it all makes sense when you see the whole circle, right? So she was ashamed to ask. And we should not be in a world like that. You know what I mean? Like, nobody should suffer like that in silence. I know some countries have got more opportunities, some less and stuff. But after that, I was like, okay, I got to be a bit more serious with where I spend money. And, sometimes we all have those moments when we just try to buy really bad stuff and we know we don't need it. And where I can be like, okay, let me put that to the side and send it over and help out where I can. So I think that's very, very important to me. So yeah, it's been 12 years. It's on and off. It started off with stationery and stuff like that. Now it's obviously easier to just send le moula, the money, and and let's see when everything is back to normal and I can travel back, I can go back to stationery, school fees, clothes, and all of that stuff.
We're so close. We're so close. So please,
Good. Take your time.
what what motivates you, and what inspires you?
Life. I think life is a game sometimes, because you could wake up and meet the one. You could wake up and change your whole mindset about something, and you could wake up and die on that same day. Like you never, sorry, I'm sounding very depressive. I don't mean it that way. But what I mean is, you don't actually know what life brings to you. Like it's a mystery every single day, but you can choose what you try to make out of it. So me trying to see the positive, or trying to see the sense in something, really inspires me, where I'm like, wow, so now I know why ABC did this to me and everything. Oh, that reminds me of that song. Maybe I should write a song. Bitch, you're out of my life. You know, I mean, no, I'm joking, guys. I'm a comedian as well. I forgot to say that. No, but you know what I mean. Like sometimes certain things that happen into your life and in your life, or happen to you, could really open up a whole new thing within you, and you could write a song about it, and that would lead you to being signed by Sony, and then overnight you get married to Justin Bieber. No, hold on, he's married already. Anyway, somebody else. And your whole, and that's what inspired it, something that happened in your life. So I think it's a very easy answer, but it is the answer. So things that happen in life, that's what inspires me daily to do good or not so good or wonderful or whatever I do.
Wait, are you signed by Sony?
No. You weren't listening.
No, I was like, wait a minute.
Guys, you heard it. You better not cut out this part.
That's why I waited. I paused.
Where did you go? Where did you go? I think you went on a toilet break.
No, because I was like, wait a minute. Did she? Has she been signed? I was like thinking, no. Did she?
No,
was she?
it was an example.
It was an example. But I was like,
that's
wait.
like you asking me if I'm married to Justin Bieber. I mentioned him as well.
No, I thought you said Justin Timberlake. You said Justin Timberlake.
No, I said Justin Bieber. Guys, what did I say? Comment
it's getting edited out. All right. Where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years?
Sorry, I'm still laughing. It was an example. I said,
I know that.
Happen.
Yeah. No, I know that. But I was like, wait a minute. I was thinking to myself, wait a minute. Did I miss that? Did I completely miss that? But anyway, where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years? 5 years or 10 years? It's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, I am really grateful to know that I have built my foundation. So there's nothing out of the ordinary that isn't already aligned with me that I would want to do. You know what I mean? Like, you know, some people, they are like, oh yeah, one day I would like to be a politician or whatever. Like, there's nothing out of the ordinary that I would want to achieve that I haven't built my foundation for already. Like, so basically a bigger singer. I want my dance class, Shigitu, to be bigger. I want to have my own building where I can, do different services for women, and have my rehearsal rooms and that kind of stuff. You know, like basically different things to make the life that I have right now a little bit easier. Just the same way, like years ago when I did everything by myself with music, and then I manifested LYE, and all of a sudden you have like a whole team doing the things that you would usually do. So the same thing now, like I just want to do, not that I'm saying that I'm doing a lot, but I would want to just have an easier sounds a bit lazy, but I just want everything that I have right now already bigger. I want to be married. I know my mom is now saying in the background. Married. I want to have children. I want to be, even happier and write more books. and be part of more movie projects, more adverts, just more life, more of everything, abundance, healthier, nothing nothing that isn't already in my pathway. It's already there. It just needs to happen.
Do you have any projects coming up?
Yes, more music. So there's music already in the pipeline, produced, everything, but the music videos will have to be produced. So that means traveling, la-di-da-di-da-di-da. And what else? And yeah, better agencies, more work, more dancing, step by step.
Okay, so this is like the ending now. So something that makes you do wrong makes you do right. Al Green. I can't fool myself. I don't want nobody else to ever love me. Luther Vandross. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place.
I love that song. Backstabbers, backstabbers,
Yeah.
a smile in your face. Backstabbers, backstabbers. I love it. Yeah.
I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Bob Dylan. Another one from him is, I said I'm so happy I could die. She said drop dead and left with another guy.
Wow.
This morning I woke up this morning. Lightning Hopkins. What would be your lyric? What would be something that you would say that would be powerful or that could resonate yourself?
I wrote a quote many years ago, and then I saw part of that quote somewhere else, and then I thought, did this person steal it from my brain without knowing, or did I tell someone and then they told someone and that person made it officially theirs? But my one that I wrote in my diary and everywhere, and I think I even had it on a t-shirt, but my phrase is live every day as if it was your first and your last. And the reason why is because if it's your first day, you're starting the day with no judgment. You're not thinking, oh, this person did this and this to me last year and I don't like her, or I don't like him. You don't think about anything because you're just meeting them for the first time with no judgment. And if it's your last, you make sure that you show so much love, and that you give your everything in that moment, because you know that moment is precious. So you leave with no regrets. And I think if we live every day like that, we're doing ourselves the very, very best favor. And earlier you asked a question, but I think you kind of answered it yourself and then went to the next question. But you were talking about Habesha parents not being so lovable and not saying I love you and stuff like that. When I started, with WhatsApp, and my mom was learning how to use WhatsApp video and stuff like that, my mom started saying all the time, okay, ciao, ich liebe dich, in German. So, ich liebe dich, meine Schatzi, I love you, and all of that. And she, like, we always did that, but there was always this weirdness, like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. but then I started hearing that from her, and from my sisters as well, that I get the ich hab dich lieb, which is like still love, but it's more like love you, that type of thing. And now, also inspired by a very good friend of mine, Cece. She's one of my dance students. She was actually the first one that I can remember that would end every phone call with love you, love you, love you, love you. And then I thought, love you too. Like you whisper it into the phone. Yeah, okay, weirdo, bye. But then I was like, oh, this is good. I want to be like that, Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, I gotta say it more often. And now I feel like I say it so often that I'm sometimes scared to not say on a podcast, all right, no, I love you.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, okay, this was the first time we talked, Lydia. You can love me like that. Or to even say it to like, like on Bumble, on this one of the apps, yeah.
Apps, yeah.
dating apps, and you talk to strangers, and then they're like, so, what do you want in a relationship, blah blah blah. Sometimes I have to hold myself back and not say in the end, love you, because they might think, let me unmatch her right now, because this woman is crazy. But I say it so often. I literally say it so often to everybody that I forget that not everyone is that open yet, but I think love you doesn't mean I'm going to do anything and everything for you. Ask me anything, use me, blah, blah. That's not what it means. It just means I'm showing love. I'm giving love right now. I'm giving my time. I'm living that. So yeah, with my family, we have that a lot, uncomfortably a lot, like really, okay, it's getting too much now. Stop it. Like even my nephews, when I see them and they don't say I love you, I take them and say, no, say I love you in my face. They're like, I already said that. I said, say it again. And they're like, I love you. I was like, okay, now you can go and play. It's like that in our family. So a lot of love. Yes.
I want to say,
I love you. I love you too. I said it first.
You're great. Definitely that was good. That was definitely good. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. No, for me to actually do this, it's like a I get to learn about people that are like me. You're hilarious. That people are like me. So yes, so yeah, I do love you. Yeah, we do love you. Yeah,
Amen.
So you really took over this podcast.
I had to make sure that I said it first. I was like, I'm very competitive as well. Very competitive.
So I definitely appreciate you coming on, and like I said, this was for me to actually learn about not only myself but people that are in the same community as me and achieving great things like yourself. That's why you're here, and I get to learn from you, and I really appreciate your time. And if there's anything that you want to push, or where could we find you? Where could we find LIDIAANA?
All over the internet. So if you go to my website, www.lidiaana.com, that's LIDIAANA with a double A. To my dance page, ladies, come through. We're doing sexy dance classes to build your confidence, online as well as it froze for a second. Online as well as in-person classes in London. That's www.shegitu, that's SHEGITU -dance.com. And on my actual socials, so Instagram usually, it's LIDIAANA Music. That's LIDIAANA Music. And Shegitu is as well on Instagram, and that's Shegitu Dance. That's SHEGITU Dance. And I think that's about it. I'm also on Facebook, but send me emails because I don't really reply on Facebook.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I had such a great time.
Cheers.
Yo. I don't need a coach. I don't need advice.
Okay, good talk, coach. Thanks.